Better to have a short life that is full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way.
Villages far from the safety of our castles still need protection. But how can our armies protect the people when we samurai are so few? Nobushi, elegant, aggressive fighters.
Disclaimer, this guide will be unlike the War to Master guide in terms of functionality. This guide is for experienced players only. I have high-level techs and combos in which newer players most likely won't understand. With that in mind, let's continue. Quick Snap R1s. These attacks are basically going to be 15 milliseconds quicker, and they'll have your character be turned around. Your character will whip around and perform a light attack always on the right side. Paired up with the fact that you can hint stance your light attacks, so you can delay the light, turn around, lock back on, and hint stance the light to get a parry or follow up to the light chain. Reverse kick. Your kick, which already has speed, will now also be turned around from your enemy and spun 180 degrees. Sounds amazing, right? Well, this is actually very situational, as it's hard to unlock the camera without locking back on. I suggest using this attack in neutral, or after or mid combo. Never start a combo with it, as you don't have many options to use right after you go for the bleed after the kick lands. Reverse attacks. These attacks are done by looking away from your opponent. They can be done to confuse the enemy, so it becomes harder to predict your next move. You can also hit and stance the reverse attacks, which can lead into your reverse kick. Reverse dash attacks. These include the Cobra Strike and Sidewinders. You can use these by dashing forwards away from your enemy, and the attack will turn around and track them. The Sidewinders are really weird with this one, so use them with caution, as the other hero can pick up on them easily if they know what you're doing. Hidden stance combos. These combos can be performed from entering hidden stance, either by going in it from neutral, mid combo, or feint. The first feint is a light attack feint into a hidden stance, into a heavy feint, which leads into a heavy attack feint, finishing with a hidden stance into a kick. Next is a light feint into a heavy attack, then a kick. Finally is a light feint into a kick. Kick 50-50 mix-up. This is the 50-50 that Nobushi got due to her kick being sped up. After a light attack, you can kick or delay it into a guard break to catch your opponent's dodge. Or just let the kick rip if they expect it. The same can also be done with heavy attacks. Hidden stance to zone. This is a simple move which will cost a hefty amount of stamina, go into hidden stance, and feint a heavy into a zone. Feints into dash attacks. You can also use feints into the dash attacks. These are really fast but predictable if you spam them too much. The first combo being a light attack into a heavy feint, then a Cobra Strike. Next is the heavy feint into Sidewinder. Not like you're gonna catch most people, but it's there. The kick afterward is optional. You can also do it from a light feint. Feint lights into Cobra Strikes are also fast but predictable. Use them with caution. Sidewinder can also be performed from a heavy feint into hidden stance. The last more complicated combo is a light feint into hidden stance, heavy feint into hidden stance, finishing into a Sidewinder. Basically is a double feint. That's all for the mastery parts of things. Now I can give you some tips and tricks to help you on your way to becoming an amazing Nobushi player. For starters, the parry follow-ups are as follows. If you parry a heavy attack, you will get a heavy attack. Yes, you heard me right. A sidewinder counts as a heavy, which also counts as an execution. So you get that off of any heavy parry. Light parries, you should go for the top heavy. Now, Nobushi's max out of stamina punish is your GB into a kick, into a cobra strike, into a top heavy. But, if you're near a wall, it's 3 heavy attacks. As shown here, you throw them into the wall, use your 2 heavy attacks, then kick into the wall for a stagger, which gives you the final 3rd heavy attack. And one last good tip I can give you is to use the Viper's retreat after heavy attacks. It can catch them off guard if you delay it, and gives you the bleed for extra damage and the Way of the Shark bonus damage. With that, I send you off. Thank you.